Hey, what's up everybody? It's Gwen and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be bringing you my go-to makeup look. So this is the look that I usually go for when I want to wear makeup and I don't know what makeup look to do. You could either wear it like this, like I have it, with some false lashes and, really amplify the look, or you could just wear mascara and wear it as a fresh daytime glam look. So I really hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe, and let's get started. All right, so let's get started. So first things first, I'm going to pull my hair back somehow. So to start, I may or may not use primer. It really depends on what I'm doing that day, how long I need my makeup to last. I'm not going to do primer today, so I'm just going to go right into foundation. So the foundation I'm going to be using is the Estee Lauder DoubleWear foundation, and I'm going to be using the shade 6W1 or Sandalwood. This is what I use in the summertime. But in the wintertime, I use 5W2, which is Rich Caramel. The motion I do is kind of a stippling motion. I use the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. This is just like a rounded kabuki brush. Okay, next I'm going to just fan my face because this does not dry down. As much as you blend it in, it still needs time to dry down. This is also good just to make sure that I get a good amount of coverage from this foundation. Okay, that took like less than a minute to dry. So now I'm going to be moving on to powder. So the powder that I use is the MAC Studio Fix Powder Foundation, and I have two shades right here. The main shade that I use all over my face is NC55. So this is what it looks like. And then the other one that I use is NC43, and this is what I use under my eyes as well. Like I mix the two as well as use this by itself. So I'll show you that right now. So first I'm going to start off with NC55, the main shade that I use, and I'm going to take a powder puff and just apply this to my T-zone. And I avoid packing the powder right in between the eyebrows because I feel like it's really easy for makeup to get caked on there. I mainly focus the powder on my nose and then right above my eyebrows, and then the excess I bring to the middle. Okay, next I'm going to work on the under eyes. So I'm just going to be going in between these two, NC55, NC43. That's the order that I go in. I don't know if it makes a difference, but that's the order I go in, and I just apply this underneath my eyes. I also take those colors and apply them to my lid. This brightens up this whole area around the eyes and just brings it forward and makes you look really awake. So I like to take my under eye powder onto my eyelids as well. And then I'm going to take NC43 by itself and go right underneath the eyes. So I'm not going to bring that down too much, just to really help me look like I got some sleep. I get sleep, but you know how like you still get sleep but you look tired? I always have that going on. And then I'm going to go back into the NC55 powder and just take a regular powder brush and apply this to the rest of my face. I'm going to avoid the contour area because I am about to contour soon. So just put it everywhere except the contour area. And I also go over the areas that I put the powder on with the powder puff just to kind of blend out the edges because I don't want it to look too cakey around those areas. And this is when I bring the makeup down my neck. I don't put foundation on my neck. I like to use these because these are powder foundations, so they're good for my oily skin, and they also give you some coverage so you don't have to cake on as much foundation. So I really like that. Okay, next I'm going to be contouring. So the product that I use to contour is the Black Radiance True Complexion Contour Palette in medium dark. And the first one I'm going to go into is the middle shade, which is the Sculpt shade. I kind of like to use this as a transition color going towards my contour color. So starting off with that, I'm just going to lightly apply that to the outer part of my cheeks. Bring it onto my jawline. And then I'm going to go into the actual contour shade. I use a light hand with this because I don't want to look too muddy. And I bring this just to like the very, very bottom parts that I want to contour. I'm gonna sweep up motion. So that's what I do. Pretty much going over the same spots that I just put that first color. Okay, and the last place I'm going to contour is my nose. So using the same palette, I'm going to go into the contour shade very lightly and then the sculpt. I'm going to go underneath my nose and then on the sides of my nose. And then I'm going to take my powder brush and I'm going to just go over the contour to blend that in. Okay, next I'm going to do my brows. I'm going to use the Anastasia DipBrow Pomade in dark brown. And then I'm going to use the brush that it comes with. I'm just kind of filling in the bald spots. I'm not trying to make them look too harsh. And I like to work on the arches first because those are usually the darkest. And then I'll work on the front just to make sure I make the eyebrows even. This might be as good as it's gonna get for me. And then to kind of clean up my brows, at least that one part, there's one part that I can't seem to make look sharp. I'm gonna go back into the NC55 powder with a flat shader brush like this, and I'm just gonna hit it right here. Next, I'm going to prime my eyes. So I'm gonna use the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. I'm gonna take a little bit on my finger and apply it to my eyes. You don't need a lot with this stuff, especially if you're like me and you use this after your base makeup. You don't want to possibly take off any of the makeup that you have underneath. You can also take the excess and put it in the inner corners if you would like. And then using the brush that I used for my under eye makeup, I'm just going to go over it with whatever's left just to set that in place. Okay, so now it's time for eyeshadow. So I'm going to be using two palettes. The main palette that I use is the Maybelline City Mini palette in Rooftop Bronzes. So I really love this palette. And the other palette that I sometimes use is the Tarteist Pro to Go palette. I like having this, one because I like the shades in it, but also because it has a mirror. So I love traveling with these basically. So I like having this one with the mirror as well. So first, using the Tarte palette, I'm gonna go to the shade Crisp. I'm just gonna take a fluffy crease brush and apply this as my transition shade. So just tilt your head back and look down, and then you can always find your crease. I'm just going to blend that upward toward my brow. Now sometimes I skip that step and I'll just have the Maybelline palette. So next I'm going to go into this shade right here. I don't think these have names. So it's the one in the top right corner. I lightly go into it with a crease brush. And I'm going to go slightly lower than that transition shade and just apply that into my crease and kind of start to work it onto the outside of my lid. So focusing it mainly on the crease and then bringing it down onto my lid. Can you guys see this? That's a little better. Okay. So again, taking it lower than the transition shade, putting it mainly in the crease, but also bringing it onto the outer portion of my lid. And then you can even go back into your first brush that you use for your transition shade and blend out the edges of that shadow. I recommend doing this just so everything looks really nice and blended and cohesive. Next, I'm going to take a smudge brush and I'm going to take that same shade from the Maybelline palette and put this underneath my lower lash line. Focus this mainly on the outer corners and then bring it onto the inside. You want most of the color to be on the outer portion of your eye. And I'm going to go in with that Maybelline shade again just so I can begin to match the darkness of the upper lash line to the lower lash line, because as you can see I put a lot more on the bottom. Then using that same smudge brush, I'm going to go back into my transition shade and I'm going to take this underneath that bronzy color that I just put down to blend out my lower lash line. But you can also use like your finger or something if you don't have this color, or if you're in that much of a rush. Next, using a smaller crease brush, I'm going to be going into the Maybelline palette and I'm going to take this bottom color just on the tip of the brush. And I'm going to apply this right here. So kind of as a, kind of like where you would put eyeliner. So not in the crease, lower than that color we just put down. Next, I'm going to use that same smudge brush that I used for the lower lash line. I'm also going to go into that dark bronze color that I just picked up and use this on the upper lash line. This will start to bring the intensity to the lash line. Because I have smaller eyes, I don't like to bring it past the outer third of my eye, but do whatever you feel comfortable with. All right, next I'm going to do the actual lid. So I might do one or two things. I usually pick this color from the Tarte palette. That's Drive. I apply this to my lid. But you can also take the powder that you used under your eyes and just apply some more to your lid. If I had some black pencil liner, I would, use that on my lids, but I don't have any. So I'm just gonna go into some black liquid liner. This is the e.l.f. liquid liner. I'm just going to make a wing. And then to catch any of the eyeliner before it ends up on my lid, I take a Q-tip and I go on the back of my lashes just to catch any of that eyeliner that might end up where it shouldn't be. While that dries, I'm gonna do highlight. The highlighter I like to use is the Wet n Wild Megaglo highlighter in the shade Precious Petals. So it's just the gold color. It's like one of the original ones. I don't really like their new ones. I like the original ones that they had, which is this one and I think Crown of My Canopy. Anyway, I'm going to take this with a fan brush and just apply this to the high points of my cheeks. Also apply it to my temples, just whatever's left. The main color I want is on my cheeks. Also underneath, on top of the brow bone. Kind of move your head around to see where like the natural highlight is on your cheek and just apply it there. And I'm taking the brushes that I use on these areas of my face and just blending out the color so that it doesn't look like it's sitting on top of my skin. Okay, next I'm going to move on to lashes. The lashes I would usually apply are the Ardell Demi Wispies, but I'm going to be using the Eyelure Luxe Baroque style lashes. Just going to use my Duo Lash Adhesive, the brush on version. Just going to sit that down, and then while it dries, I'm going to prepare my actual lashes for falsies. So what I like to do is take my eyelash curler, turn it upside down, and uncurl my lashes. I got this tip from It's My Ray Ray here on YouTube. Just like me, she has like really curly lashes that get in the way of falsies. So this is what she does. Just get her own lashes out of the way of the real lashes. And this makes it so much easier to apply. And then as soon as I apply it, I start to manipulate the lashes before the glue dries. So I usually push up, curl up the outer corners and push down the inner corners. I don't know, for some reason they just seem to do their own thing when they get on my eyes. So I try to control them a little bit. You're like, I don't know why, but this eye is always giving me trouble. I think my face is just crooked. Must be it. Okay, so now that my lashes are on, what I'm going to do is just kind of touch up my makeup in certain areas. So usually what I do is I'll deepen my contour and I'll also deepen my crease color, like in my eyes. I just like to do this once I have my lashes on, like one, because there's such a big contrast between my face and then my eyes. So I want to even that out. And also you just don't want to add too much and then be like, oh wait, I applied too much. Like it's better to add than to take away. Like you can't really take away product. So I'm going to go into my deep contour color and I'm just going to apply a little more. And then to deepen up my eyes, I'm going to go back into the Maybelline palette and I'm going to take that darker shade, the darkest shade that we used and that I mainly put on my lid and not in my crease, and actually bring it up into the crease. Just taking a little bit on the tip of the brush. And just so that it shows more over the lashes. So next I'm going to apply mascara on my bottom lash line. I mean, you could leave it like this if you're looking for like a old school Nicki Minaj type of vibe, but I want to put some mascara on my lower lash line. This is the Urban Decay Perversion Mascara. While that coat dries, I'm going to just take my fingers and just press my real lashes into the fake lashes very gently. Also want to do this once the lashes are dry, because I have done this when it's been wet and I've literally just like with my finger just peeled off the lashes by accident because the glue might still be tacky. So you want to do this once the lashes are completely dry. And also while that's drying, I'm going to just take some liquid liner again and just fill in these inner portions, because it's a big contrast between my real lashes, like I barely have any lashes in the inner corner, and then, you know, these big lashes that I have on. So just gonna go in and very carefully color that in. Be careful. It helps a little bit just to make it look like it blends in a little more. Okay, now that that first coat is done, I'm gonna go in with a second coat. And I don't apply any mascara to the top lash line. I found that when I don't put mascara on my top lash line, my lashes last a lot longer because there isn't any mascara clumped on them. All right, and lastly, I'm going to do lips. So just to prepare the area and kind of blend everything together, I'm gonna take what's left from my powder foundation and just apply it to the sides of my mouth. Not only does this kind of lighten any darkness that you have around your mouth, this just helps prepare the lips. It kind of just mutes out any color that you have on your lips. And then I'm going to take a lip liner and a lipstick. So the lipstick that I like to use is the MAC and Gabriel Zamora lipstick. I've had this for a long time. This is limited edition. This is very similar to MAC's Taupe lipstick. So if you can't find this one and you're around my skin tone, I recommend MAC Taupe as your second option. But I'm going to use this on my lips and I just like dab it on. I don't swipe lipstick on usually. I don't want it to look too heavy. It seems to blend in a lot better. Okay, in the winter time I would usually stop here, but because it's summer and I am darker, this lip color is a little light. So I'm going to use, I don't even know what this is. I think this is a Wet n Wild. No, Rimmel. This is a Rimmel brown lip liner and I think Coffee Bean. I'm going to take this on the outer portions of my lips. Very lightly though. All All right, and then to finish off this look, I'm going to use some lip gloss. So I might do this, I might not, but I'll do it for you guys today. The lip gloss I usually go into is the Fenty Gloss Bomb. I don't know how I feel about this stuff. I do like it, however, it gets everywhere. So I can't bring this in my purse or it'll just explode everywhere. So I will use this like when I first use it, and then throughout the day I can't reapply it because this will just explode all in my bag. And I wonder why. It could be because this room gets so much sunlight that it, I guess, expands in the heat maybe, but I don't know. And this is the finished look. So I really hope you guys enjoy finding out my go-to makeup look. I really like this for, like I said, just when I don't know what to do and, you know, I just need like a simple daytime look, or even something a little more dressed up like this, and you can add some false lashes and really, like, you know, amplify the look. This is what I go for. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe, and also be sure to hit your notification button so you can be notified every time I upload on my channel. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.